And joining us now here on the program, pleased to have with us Laura Thompson. She is with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln Extension. She's an educator and also the director of the Nebraska On-Farm Research Network. And she has served as director of the Nebraska On-Farm Research Network since 2014. So pleased to have her join us here on the show today. Laura, thanks for being with us. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, great to join you today.
Appreciate the time. I think just to start, let's set the stage here. Talk a little bit about the Nebraska On-Farm Research Network, and I know you've obviously been in the role as director now for quite a few years, as I mentioned. So, can you just kind of give us a quick summation of some of the things that you guys focus on there with the research network?
Yeah, for sure. So, our on-farm research network in Nebraska has been going since about 1990. So we have a pretty long history of the program, and really our focus is to help producers evaluate different management practices, different products, different technologies that can make an impact on their crop production, their profitability, and even the sustainability of their operation. And so the farmers that participate are conducting that research on their own farms, in their own growing environment, using their own equipment, which means that the results that they're getting are going to be directly applicable to their operation, and really relevant and helpful in making them or in their future management decisions that they're going to need to make. So they're collecting a lot of really great data that's going to be beneficial to their operation, but also to other people as well. So we try to compile results, aggregate results, and make those useful to others in the region or the state, as well, so that even more people can benefit from this great information that these farmers are generating.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing, like you mentioned, not only the farmers who are participating able to use all this data and all these things they learn on their operation, but you guys are able to, gather all that data and share it for others to use. And I think about just the different agronomic tools we have here in 2023. There's so much that is involved, and thinking about digital technology, precision agriculture. I mean, that is a huge topic right now in agriculture, Laura. And I know that's some of the things that you guys are working on and focusing on as well here the last couple of years.
Yeah, so precision agriculture can really offer a lot of opportunities for farmers in conducting on-farm research. Of course, we can use those technologies, things like GPS, yield monitors, variable rate technology. We can use those to try to increase efficiencies, place products more efficiently in the field. But I think one opportunity that sometimes is overlooked is that opportunity to actually use these technologies, sometimes that already exist in the operation, and leverage them to conduct on-farm research. So, for example, looking at something like variable rate seed or variable rate fertilizer, we could, of course, try to use those technologies, and we do try to use those technologies to place those products in optimum rates throughout the field. But oftentimes we don't really have the insight or knowledge on how to best set those, how to best distribute those inputs, especially when we're first starting out with a field. So a great opportunity is to actually use those technologies to do on-farm research. So we can set up prescriptions just like you do for a variable rate application in the field, but set them up with some different rates. So for example, if we're thinking about nitrogen fertilizer, we can set up some blocks, maybe about 400 feet long by the width of the implement, maybe look at 5 different rates and set those rates up in some contrasting areas of the field. So maybe we put a set of those 5 rates in some sandy area, some clay area, high elevation, low elevation, whatever is out there for variation in the field. And with this, we can really start to understand that optimum nitrogen rate or optimum seeding rate in those different portions of the field. And that's going to be really helpful for growers to guide those future management decisions, whether they end up using variable rate management in the future. It can all happen pretty seamlessly. When we set this up with a prescription, the rate changes can happen on the go. We can collect the yield data on the go. So it can be a pretty convenient way for people to get a lot of information about their operation.
Well, and I think too, some of those things you alluded to, Laura, kind of the adage "work smarter, not harder," in a sense, with all of this technology we have, and you alluded to it too. And I have to think some of the advantages that precision ag offers farmers today. Say a farmer has a field, the soil type might be different from one end of the field to the other end of the field. So, it's useful to use all the tools in the toolbox to make sure, we're getting the best ROI, because at the end of the day, cost of inputs going up. We want the best return on our investment. We want the best crop that we can get out of every inch of our field. And I think that's very key where precision ag can come into play, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And the goal really is to move beyond thinking of the field, treating it uniformly, and starting to look at how we can manage it within the field to address that variability, whatever that might be. And we have a lot of tools that can help us do that, can help us inform and guide those decisions, a lot of data that can help make those decisions. And really, like you mentioned, can help improve the profitability, the efficiency. But along with that, I think a really important one as we um, move forward is also that opportunity to reduce any negative environmental impacts. And so as we're being more efficient with our fertilizer applications, our water applications, in some cases reducing them or better distributing them through the fields, we really have a great opportunity to also reduce that environmental potential negative outcomes.
Exactly. Sustainability, a huge key component to this as well, and a huge part of agriculture. And I wonder too, we're hearing a lot about sustainability, we're hearing a lot about precision ag. As you look at your research, how widely are some of these things being adopted? I know there could be some apprehension sometimes. Farmers, say, oh, there's all this technology. I don't need all that. I've been doing it this way for so many years. But I think more people are opening up to it. I just wonder, from what you see, how widely are things being adopted right now?
Yeah, in the US, overall, precision agriculture is fairly widely adopted, especially relative to a global scale.
Mhm.
It does vary, though, based on the technology that we're talking about. So things like GPS technology and yield monitoring technology have been adopted more rapidly than things like variable rate technology. And some of that, I think, is the challenge in knowing how to best implement those technologies and get what kind of return on investment we're going to get. And I think some of that's becoming more apparent, especially as we're able to conduct more research and on-farm research and kind of demonstrate and the benefit of these, as well as better understand those conditions where they're going to be most beneficial. So I do think we're continuing to see an increase in the adoption of those technologies. Um, and I don't expect that to change in the future, especially
Mhm.
given, our need to meet a growing food demand for our growing population, rising labor costs, a lot of challenges that we can try to utilize precision ag or even more broadly digital agriculture to help us overcome.
Yeah, fantastic. Got a couple minutes. I'd love just some thoughts, maybe some of the recent research you guys have been working on with the research network, some of the projects that are underway. What are a couple things that you're really excited about that you would want to highlight for us?
Yeah, so one fun aspect of the program is that we have such a huge variety of research topics that get covered every year. So we have projects that we kind of put together and have more cohesive efforts around the state, but we also have farmers who come with all their own ideas. And so that means we have just a huge wealth and variety of different ideas that farmers are testing. So there's always things looking like crop production questions like row spacing, variable rate seeding. We've had studies looking at how to utilize multi-hybrid planting. A lot of interesting work going on with cover crops, helping better understand cover crop management, things like species to use, herbicide interactions, termination timing, opportunities to interseed cover crops. And then a lot of ones that I'm more involved with and excited with are looking at soil fertility and how we can utilize technologies, things like sensors and crop models to help us better manage and better inform our nitrogen rate in the field, which is a really critical topic as well, especially as we think about our environmental impact. So those are always really fun and exciting to see those technologies getting applied in that way. And then there's always lots of questions on new products, additives, biologicals, lots of different products that farmers are testing, which is awesome to see those being tested in a huge variety of growing environments across the state as well.
Fantastic. Well, I would believe as well if folks want to learn more about some of the different things you guys are doing. I know online you guys have a website. I was looking at earlier as well. With I would think plenty of great information there. What are some ways people can kind of stay in touch and stay connected to what you guys are doing?
Sure, great. Yeah, our website is an awesome place to go, on-farm research .unl.edu, and have a lot of information there. You can see past research results from the past 30 plus years, so over 1,000 research studies there. Um, Read articles summarizing those research results. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, and would love to connect with people there as well.
Fantastic. Well, we appreciate the time. Laura Thompson with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln and the director of the Nebraska On-Farm Research Network. Thanks for joining us. We'll have to get you back on the show again real soon. Appreciate it.
Yeah, great to visit. Thanks.